Hello and welcome to day 13. Thinking of a favorite object makes me smile right from the start. It was so hard to choose, but eventually I settled on two things. This is the first. It's a potato masher. Now I agree, a potato masher is a pretty unusual item for a favorite, but this is decades old and it belonged to my grandmother. I've used it countless times, just as she did. I even used it when my kids were babies. It was thought that introducing kids to solid foods too soon contributed to the development of allergies. I'd heard of kids who were allergic to wheat and soy and grains and nuts, but I've never heard of a child who's allergic to potatoes. So I used to make up a big batch of potatoes, mash it, and that was their first solid food. The second item belonged to my granddad. Now, the handle on this tool is obviously meant to be red, but his shop was full of tools that had the red added later. One time when he was painting the barn, for some reason he left the paint with the lid off, and my sister and my aunt painted everything in his shop: the walls, the tools, and the dog. When they painted the dog, he ran out and gave the whole game away. I can't remember if they received any punishment, but I do know that to this day, decades later, we still use tools with tiny little specks of red paint on the handles. You know, what makes an object a favorite isn't its rarity or its value. It's the story and the connections. Now, I'm right close to the kitchen. Let me go pour myself a cup of tea because I'd love to hear your stories and connections too.